Welcome to the Geekcentric podcast, and welcome to our very special interview with the directors of Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Love ya. Get home safe, guys. Peace.
Hello, I'm JLaw, but you can call me Justin, and if you're joining us for the first time, well, we are Geekcentric, a podcast covering the world of movies, TV shows, toys, collectibles, gaming, and all things Geekcentric. And today, you're joining us for our ongoing series we're calling Behind The Geeks, where we interview a guest who has worked behind the scenes or been a part of any of the things that we love. Today, I am so excited to say that we are joined by Daniel Kwan and Daniel Scheinert, collectively known as the Daniels, the writing and directing duo behind Everything Everywhere All at Once. To give you a little background here, this dynamic duo began their career as directors of music videos for artists like Foster the People, The Shins, Tenacious D. In 2016, the duo expanded to feature films, writing and directing the movie Swiss Army Man, starring Paul Dano and Daniel Radcliffe, for which the duo received the directing award at the 2016 Sundance Film Festival. If you haven't seen this movie, you 100% have to check it out. In 2017, it was announced that the Daniels would write and direct and produce a then unnamed sci-fi film produced by the Russo brothers company. That film is Everything Everywhere All at Once, which is in selected cities right now, but is hitting wide release this Friday, April 8th. This is a sci-fi action adventure starring Michelle Yeoh. It is already getting critical acclaim. It is literally Everything Everywhere All at Once. I just love saying that name. A huge thanks to Elevation Pictures here in Canada for helping set up this interview. This interview was fantastic. They shed a little bit more light of what went into building the screenplay and how they keep themselves grounded with their grassroots style filmmaking while expanding the scope and expanding the horizons of storytelling and really sticking to heart. Hope you enjoy it. Hello, Daniels. How are you?
Hello.
Pretty good.
We're doing okay. We're in the mix right now, so it's a little hard to have an objective answer to
Having an overwhelming month.
Yeah.
Out of body experience.
I can only imagine. Well, I'm so happy to have you guys here on the Geekcentric podcast. And congratulations on the release of the movie. It's been getting a lot of love and praise, and I'm so happy to have a chance to talk to you about this movie, and which I believe one of you guys called it Cosmic Gumbo, if I'm not mistaken, in an interview.
What it is.
Yeah. Well, I couldn't agree more with that sentiment, because it does feel like a visual feast for your eyes while also being food for your soul. So let's get into the questions here. I would love to talk to you about first the screenplay. Again, to have strong visuals, you have to have a strong story. And I'm wondering, how long were you guys working on this? And also, was it hard to get this incredible cast on board? Was there different pitches that kind of rolled around, or was everyone really connected with the script upon reading it for the first time?
Yeah. It took so long for us. It took a lot of drafts, a lot of pages had to get thrown out because at its core, this movie was an experiment. We wanted to see what would happen if we took a traditional action movie, 3-act structure with a hero's journey, and send it through the blender of the multiverse and the blender of infinity, and see what happens if we destroy our movie. What if we make it so that nothing matters, and our characters don't feel like anything matters, and our audience might believe that nothing matters? And what if we can pull them out of that feeling and make them feel like there is meaning and there's beauty still, despite all of that? And so it was really much like a lot of iterations, it feels like the way the infinite monkeys with typewriters might accidentally come upon Hamlet. That's right, kind of what our writing process felt like sometimes.
But we worked hard on the script too, because we we came up in music videos, and so we didn't think of ourselves as writers, and we didn't read all the screenplay books, and and this time we were like, okay, I think, knowing we're going to break it, we want it to be really enjoyable and accessible before it breaks,
For sure.
So we, the script is pretty accurate to the final thing. And I think that was a huge gift and made talking to actors and talking to crew a lot easier. Because there clearly was so much thought on how it was going to intersect and how it was going to flow. And I think the real miracle of how we got the cast involved was that Michelle Yeoh believed in the script.
Yeah.
So she liked it. And then everyone else, we were like, guess what? Michelle's in it. And they're like, great. I'd like to be in it too. Do I get to work with her? I would like
it was
to
an easy sell from that point on. That's great. That's awesome.
Kinda, yeah.
I know Joe and Anthony Russo played as producers and collaborators on this project, and it feels very fitting given, your unique style of filmmaking.
We borrowed some tips and tricks from both hats,
That's great.
Yeah.
There seems like there's definitely a practicality and then also a widening of the scope as well. And with that, with some of the visuals, I know it's already getting celebrated, and there's multiple layers of different genres and loving callbacks to other movies that are just reminiscent throughout the film. I've heard people call out the sci-fi, the kung fu, even the Matrix references. And I think there's a bit of Terminator in there, if I might say so, especially with Wayman's character.
Oh yeah.
But again, I feel like genre blending is such a part of like your signature style as this dynamic directing duo. So with that said, I was wondering, can you speak to why it's important to blend genres rather than just sticking to one?
For sure. Yeah. A couple purposes. One is that like we're kind of like, we're media savvy, like so many people, and so like you can kind of see it coming when you're watching a movie and put up your defenses and be like, okay, here comes the part where that character is going to feel this. And so we're always afraid to just to stick to one genre, because then we don't feel anything when we watch a movie that just has one genre in there. But it's a super valuable shorthand to get people to an emotional place. And then if we mix it and switch it and keep it unpredictable, then hopefully we can get past all your defenses and get to your gooey sweet emotional heart at the middle. Because and that's what works on us, and that's how in real life, that's when I cry, is when I don't see it coming.
Right.
No, for sure.
Real life doesn't stick to one genre. It's a mess. And like, I think this movie is really resonating with audiences because they see their life reflected in the chaos of our film.
I could not agree more with that sentiment, because it is just so captivating to, again, it's not predictable. You're moving through this film and this story as if you are a character in it, really experiencing the ups and downs and all of the different nuanced emotions. So yeah, I totally agree. And I love that is very much a signature style of your filmmaking. With Swiss Army Man being your directorial debut and having an extensive filmmaking experience in music videos and short films, this question might seem a little odd, but how do your grassroots of filmmaking still stay infused in your work as the scope widens with a movie like this, like Everything Everywhere All at Once?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's always been something unattractive to us about widening the scope too much too fast. Because we lean really hard on our collaborators and on our kind of scrappy process, and we're like, oh, if we just took a ton of money and went off and had to work with a brand new group of people, we might turn in a pretty bad product. And this was still that. Like, it was bigger, but not crazy bigger. We still had to like pull off a lot scrappily, and we did it here in Los Angeles. And our producer we've been working with for 10 years, our cinematographer we've been working with for 10 years, like production designer, editor, stunt coordinator. It was a lot of familiar faces.
Oh, that's great.
And so we knew, so we leaned very heavily on the same old tricks that we used on music videos back in 2012. And that allowed us to pull off a lot.
Yeah.
For
Trust your team.
I also think just like narratively, to make something interesting, you have to just be willing to take a lot of risks. And I think one of the things that we took from music videos that we're trying to bring into feature films is this feeling that like nothing is sacred. Right. And if nothing is sacred, then anything can be sacred. And I think if we were to take too big of a leap, budget wise, or even like fan base wise, that would really hurt our creative process, because then suddenly all these other thoughts would kind of creep in, and we wouldn't have the flexibility to just say like I said, there are no rules. And so like we've slowly grown our scope and our scale in a way that we can comfortably still look at each other and say, okay, there are still no rules, right? Yes. Okay. There's still no rules. Let's do whatever we are interested in without worrying about what the audience reaction will be. Because it's mostly, we're selfishly making these movies for ourselves.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's what you want to do. Right. So, and now having, this project with an expanding scope and multiversal themes and working with the Russo brothers, it feels like you might be a few Infinity Stones away from another universe, which, given all the praise and love that this movie is getting, it feels like more opportunities are going to start presenting themselves. Now, I did read somewhere, and I don't know if it's necessarily true, that there was an opportunity for you to work on an MCU project. And given that we're huge Marvel fans, is that something that you'd be interested in? And if so, are there any characters or stories that you'd want to tell in that world, whether movie or series?
It's such a giant canvas, the Marvel stuff. Like Dan hinted at it a minute ago, like we're very intimidated by making anything that has a built-in fan base.
Right.
It's such, for a producer, they're like, great, pre-sold tickets. But as a filmmaker, it's like, oh, what if we blow it?
Right. No, I totally agree. Yeah.
We're somewhat pessimistic about the direction that humankind is headed, and kind of worried we're destroying the planet and all of human civilizations, at risk. And how could we make a Marvel movie that would convince us all to work together and collaborate to try to take on the challenges of the 21st century? We're not sure what character that is.
Well, because the MCU.
It's true.
The MCU has the biggest built-in audience of all of history. Basically, there's never been more eyes on one thing ever. So it's just like, oh, what if we could harness that built-in fan base to change the world and save the world? That's the only version of that's the only version where we.
But we haven't cracked it, so we'll just put it on your podcast, and another filmmaker might do it first, which is fine.
Yeah.
Exactly. Whoever does it first, great. Like, let's just try to. Fix this mess.
Fix the mess. I guess last question here, real quick. What sort of things do you guys enjoy in your free time, other than making movies? What is it that keeps you grounded? Are you reading stuff, writing stuff? I know. I think it was Dan. You watched Turning Red recently and noticed some of those similar parallels, which I noticed as well. Yeah. Is there anything that you're really into right now that you'd love to share with our listeners?
I'm playing a lot of video games lately.
Love it.
Love. I'm a big gamer. So
and he's been collecting skateboards.
I've been collecting longboards. I've been getting into that. I've been. It's bad. I also have a son, so that's obviously just dadding. Fathering is a big part of the grounding thing that you're talking about.
Yeah, I've been drinking a lot in COVID and just figuring out which cocktails I like.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's awesome. Well, guys, this was an absolute honor to talk to you. I've admired your work since before, when you were doing music videos, but with Swiss Army Man, it really propelled. And I have this movie means so much to me, and I'm just happy it's in my life now. So congratulations. This movie deserves all the love, and Daniel's forever, man. All right. Cool.
All right.
All right.
Try to keep you proud. Nice to meet you.
Have a good one, guys. Peace. Well, thanks again to the Daniels, and thanks to Elevation Pictures for setting this up. It was great to learn more about what keeps them grounded and how they're passionate about telling their own stories that can help make the world a better place. And in all honesty, they've already done that with their latest film, Everything Everywhere All at Once, out now in selected cities, but hitting wide release this Friday, April 8th. The film is incredibly fun, so inventive, and it has such an emotional core that keeps it grounded. Go see this movie. You will not be disappointed. But that's it. Thank you for joining us for this Behind the Geeks episode. Thanks for tuning in wherever you listen to podcasts. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and leave us a review. We always appreciate the love and feedback. Also, if you want to share your feedback with us directly, well, you can reach out to us at wearegeekcentric@gmail.com. That's wearegeekcentric@gmail.com. Or you can reach out to us on Twitter at geekcentricyt or on Instagram at wearegeekcentric. Keep in mind, we also have a ton of other episodes covering a variety of other content, like our spoiler-free review for Everything Everywhere All at Once, which is out now. Plus, we have new content always coming out, such as our ongoing watch club for Marvel Studios' Moon Knight, with episode 1 out now and episode 2 coming later this week. As well, we have our This Week in Geek episode where we cover the latest news and trailers from the Geekiverse. Plus, we always got new reviews dropping, so be sure to subscribe so you know when our latest episodes drop. But until then, I appreciate you. Peace.